Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Coach's Corner. We are here live at the Tivoli Tap House, and I am going to be your host today, Celeste, Zubia. And joining me today is Juan Arellano from the Roadrunner Review. You guys do not want to miss this. We are going to be interviewing softball women's head coach Annie Van Wetzinga, as she is excited to start her 4th season here at MSU Denver, as well as their amazing center fielder, Colissa Bakovich, and last but not least, the interim head coach for our track and field team, Janis Christopher. So we got some exciting stuff coming up, but before we get to all that, we are going to give you guys the recap of everything that happened this past weekend in Roadrunner sports. After a tough 89-70 loss to CSU Pueblo last Friday, the men's basketball team rebounded in a big way, defeating New Mexico Highlands 86-69 in Las Vegas, New Mexico. Senior guard Brian Howard scored a career-high 25 points, while junior Sunday Detch connected on all 6 of his three-point shots to score 22 points. The win improved the Roadrunners' overall record to 11-6 and 7-4 in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference.
On the other hand, the women's team also dropped a tough match against the 8th-ranked Thunderwolves last Friday night, but answered back to defeat Highlands 72-58 on the road. Junior guard Janae Squires-Horton was fantastic for the red and blue, scoring a season-high 28 points on 9 and 12 shooting. Junior forward Georgia Ordorf added 20 points of her own in the win. Coach Tanya Javi's squad improved to 9-7 overall while getting above 500 at 6-5 in conference play.
The indoor track and field team had a great showing at the Western State Shootout in Gunnison, Colorado this past weekend. The Roadrunners were led by senior jumper Sarah Hughes, who earned first place in the triple jump. Sophomore Julian Delaney not only sprinted to a second-place finish in the 60-meter dash, the Louisville, Colorado native earned first place in the 200 meters and hit time ranks 15th in all of Division II. And finally, sophomore Robert Carlson hit a provisional mark in the long jump, reaching 7.11 meters. He earned first place at the meet and currently ranks 17th in all D2. So for more times and information on the Western State Shootout, check out roadrunnersathletics.com, and we welcome in head coach Annie Van Wetzinga. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. So, you know, there's a lot of snow. Was today practice just getting that snow off the field, and kind of a bummer that we had so much snow?
Luckily, kind of looked like a genius today. Today was an off day for them, so no practice, kind of a recovery day, so kind of made us look a little smart, like we predicted the weather and everything. So luckily no practice today for us.
Well, good. So when the field isn't available and, when we do have tons of snow, what do you guys do to kind of improvise and put in some much needed work?
We typically go inside the event center to the gymnasium, and we get some time in there. There's actually a hitting cage in there. So mostly what we do in there will be hitting and pitching and some really basic drill work. But we do everything we can to get outside on our field, including at times we've shoveled. You at least shovel like the bullpens and the cages sometimes, and we can hit and pitch out there.
Coach, so you're going to be entering your 4th season here at MSU Denver. How excited are you for this 2017 season?
Oh, I'm super pumped. I'm really excited. We have really high goals, the girls do. We return all of our starters, which is huge. And so, yeah, we're expecting a big year. We're really excited. We want to get after it.
So in these next, 2 and 3 weeks, what does practice look like for you and your team?
But we just finished our first week of practice, and that was a lot of drill work, kind of getting them back into the groove, just starting to get them in shape. And next week we'll slowly start getting into more situational stuff with the defense and that sort of thing. And on the weekends we'll do a lot of live work too, so our hitters and pitchers can see live hitting and pitching.
Coach, so you mentioned that all your returners are going to be basically returnings, and you're going to be bringing back the rest of the 13.
Yeah.
So does that mean less coaching for you this season than last season?
Well, I wouldn't say that. Though it's nice when you have a lot of returners. They kind of know the deal. They know how everything's supposed to flow. And we're just really excited. Last year, at this time, we returned only 3 starters. So this year, everybody returns, and it's tough the first year, whether it's your first year getting significant playing time or it's your first year on the team. that can be a big learning curve. So I'm kind of hoping and expecting that some of those players that was their first year getting experience at our level, this year now they'll be more comfortable, we kind of have bigger years for us.
So without the returners coming in, does that help the freshmen as well?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, our returners have been really good leaders. It helps the freshmen, I think, just have people to ask questions to, and definitely to follow their lead and their example. So yeah, for sure.
So your pitching staff looks really strong this season. We have Haley Fields and Cassidy Smith coming back. How much of a luxury is that to you as a coach to know that you have two dominant pitchers coming in for your team?
Oh, that's huge. They had really solid years for us last year. They're both really good all-around athletes. They're in the game all the time. If they're not pitching, they're playing in the infield and they're hitting. So they just provide a lot to the team. Plus, to have two senior starting pitchers is a big deal. It's to have that experience, and they shouldn't get too high or too low with anything and be able to handle all the situations. They'll kind of lead the pitching staff, because the other two pitchers that make up our pitching staff are freshmen, Darby McGee and Emily Richards. So I think they definitely will look to Cass and Haley for that leadership.
So we also saw Cassidy and Haley play in the field last season.
Yeah.
Are we going to see that this season as well?
Yes, definitely. They both proved that they can handle their bat very well. They both put up some really good offensive numbers for us last year, and they both are really versatile in the infield, especially Cass. She played second, and that's where they kind of switched off, but she can also fill in over at shortstop for us as well. And so they have really good gloves. Like I said, they're just really good all-around athletes, and so we have to have them in the field all the time. I know some people get nervous about having your starting pitcher base running, hitting, fielding, but to me, I want to have my best 9 on the field, and right now they're in the best top 9 for sure.
Awesome. And, Colissa Bakovich, who's going to be on the show later on today, she's going to enter her 4th season playing with you, and she started every game the last 3 seasons. Talk to us a little bit about her and what she means to this team.
Well, Colissa, from day one when she's come in, she has been nothing but a hard worker. When she practices, it's like a game, especially on defense. If you've come to our games, you've seen her make some unbelievable defensive plays. But she does those things in practice also. She'll be robbing home runs in practice. She'll be diving and keeping balls from going to the fence in practice. So we're kind of used to seeing that from her. But I'm also not unaware enough to know that she having that kind of presence in the center field has been a huge asset to us the last 3 years, and now going into her 4th year. And also what's really nice is offensively, she's gotten better and better every year. Last year she moved to lead off and has done some really good things for us.
Yeah, so we know about the Cassidy Smiths and the Serena Espinosas of the team.
Yeah.
But could you tell us about somebody we don't know that you expect a lot of this year?
I think I kind of touched on it. We had those, Cassidy, Serena, and Colissa were our 3 returners last year. And then this year, I think we return a lot more people with experience. So I think people like Annika Anderson, she finished last year really strong and actually led us in home runs last year. I think she's primed for a really big year. I think same with Carissa Terry going into her junior year now. We have redshirt freshman Tess Haas, who was out all last year with an injury, a really athletic player, outfielder that can do things. Kristen Peters was in and out of the lineup with injuries last year, but came on strong, hitting, especially in the conference tournament for us. Same with Ashley Kim at shortstop. She was a freshman, playing a really big position out in the field. And she's really starting to look a lot more consistent both defensively and offensively. So, Brooke Lovas at 3rd, she did great things for us. Haley Fields, we've talked about her. So we have a lot of people I think can step up from last year to this year just because they have so much more experience.
And for those who don't know, what is your coaching style like, and what do you instill in these players to, have success and, want to be the best they can be?
My coaching style, that's a good question. Well, I definitely think in practice it's really demanding. We have high tempo, intense practices, and so the expectation can be high and it can be intense. But at the same time, when it comes to games, because we practice at a high, intense level, we want to make practice kind of uncomfortable and harder than what the games might be. So then it comes to game time, I hopefully can just kind of sit back, and guide them a little bit and be more supporting cheerleader in the game. So that's the times to go play, have fun. We talk a lot about controlling the controllables. That's a big thing for us. You know, the biggest things I want from my players is bringing a good attitude, a good effort, and good actions to be a good teammate. And so, you know, I feel like if they bring those things, the success will come. And really with this group, I think they're really doing that, and I'm excited for the season, and it's fun to be around them.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for coming on the show. We are excited to see you guys this season, and hopefully you guys can win another RMAC title. That'll be super fun. So if you guys want to check out more on this softball team, go to roadrunnersathletics.com, and we'll have all their season preview for both the baseball and softball teams coming up soon. And up next, we'll have indoor track and field interim head coach Janis Christopher on the show. Do not go anywhere.
Dobinson stops on a dime, now to Cortez. The Cortez beating, count the bucket, and foul.
If you can't get enough of MSU Denver sports, then you need to tune in to the Roadrunner Review. Get into the game with exclusive highlights, interviews, player stories, and of course the top plays that will have you jumping out of your seat. You can catch all the action on Comcast CET and at roadrunnersathletics.com.
Hey, nice job, great spot.
I'm Joe Rice. I'm the Director of Government Relations for Lockheed Martin Space Systems. I transferred into MSU Denver while I was in the Colorado National Guard and after I completed my associate's degree. This was the only university where somebody actually sat down with me and helped me plan out my academic path to finish my degree and graduate on time. Reach for the stars, come to MSU Denver, launch your career.
Brought to you by your #1 volume Nissan dealer, Tynan's Nissan. Come in today and choose from nearly 1,200 new Nissans. Get 0% for 72 months with no payments for 90 days. During the Bottom Line event, lease the new Altima for only $149 per month. Gives you both efficiency and performance. Looking for an SUV? Then choose the all-wheel drive Rogue at just $159 per month. Also available with optional third row seat. Bottom Line savings at Tynan's Nissan in Aurora and Fort Collins.
I'm Raquel Torres, senior guard for the women's basketball team.
Runners, and there's Torres, three-point shot up and
Oh, there it goes.
Raquel Torres, the trifecta.
And you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
I'm Andre Harris, senior center for the Roadrunners men's basketball team.
And here's Andre Harris with the jam, bobbing and weaving through traffic.
And you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner, and we want to tell you about the first Tivoli Tap House pairing. It's their She's My Cherry Pie beer and cheese pairing that will take place on January 28th from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. And if you pre-purchase your tickets before the 20th, the $30 tickets will be discounted to $20. So visit TivoliBrewingCO.com for more information on how you can be part of this exciting event. So now joining us is Janis Christopher, the interim head coach for our track and field program here at MSU Denver. How are you doing today? Thanks so much for joining us.
I'm doing well, thank you. It's my pleasure.
So when the athletic director, Anthony Grant, told you that you're going to be taking on this position, what were your thoughts at the time?
Actually excited. I think that I've been waiting for this opportunity for a long time. I've been coaching for close to 21 years, and I've been an assistant coach the entire time, so I was very excited to have the opportunity. I would say that this is sort of my dream job.
Awesome.
So this is your third season here at MSU Denver, and you're quite familiar with the program and with the student athletes. How was that transition for the student athletes?
So far it's been good. They received the change very well. I've made some changes that make it sort of my program that are a little different than the way we did it before. But so far it's about the same, and I've been challenging them to step up a little bit, and we see our success as our only option, and they really bought in last weekend and did a great job with that.
So you're really familiar with the RMAC. You've coached at Mines, and you've even ran for the Ore Diggers. So how does that help you take on this new position here at MSU Denver?
It's nice to have a different perspective, a different program that I was with for a very long time. I started out there as a 23-year-old recent grad, and I was an assistant there forever and ever. So when I started, the program was very small. and similar to where we're at now, and we were building something bigger. So it's nice to have that experience and to be able to apply the things that I learned in my time at the school of mines. It's helpful.
So tell us a little bit about the indoor track and field team. Who are the key players that the audience should know about?
Currently, we had some great performances. Actually, for the first time probably in my entire career, we had actually 3 people be ranked after their first performance in the top 20 of the NCAA for Division II. So Brandon Craggy, who is a senior, he runs the mile. He is ranked, I think, in the top 6 for sure in the mile right now for Division II. I have a sophomore long jumper. His name is Robert Carlson. He is ranked in the top 15 for the long jump. And then Sam Berg, who is a redshirt freshman running the 3K, did a phenomenal job. And then finally we have a sprinter in Julian Delaney, who is a junior. I would say those are probably my 4 major male players. My women, Rachel Shimabukuro, who is she was a JUCO transfer. This is her senior year with us. Erica Ruiz is a junior transfer, also from a junior college. And then I have a triple jumper senior, Sarah Hughes. Those would be my top 3 ladies, I believe.
So you guys participated in the Western State Shootout. How well did that go for everyone that you coached?
We did well. They scored it interestingly. They scored our top 2 against their top 2 just in the events that we had met. We had people in. We don't have throwers, and we don't have any of the vertical jumps. So high jump and pole vault are not in there. So they scored the events that we both had people in, and we scored better than I thought we would. I was pleasantly surprised. It was a lot of fun. Good.
Yeah. So what is coming up next for this team?
Next up, we are competing on Saturday at the School of Mines, actually, Friday and Saturday. The jumpers will long jump on Friday night, and then Saturday the rest of the team will join in. So that's our big one. Coming up this weekend, our biggest, we have 2 really big ones. The 27th, we're back at Mines. We're going to try and qualify our distance medley relays for the national championships that weekend. And then the weekend after that, we'll travel out to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and compete in a big meet there.
That's exciting stuff. So you made the transition from Golden to the Mile High City. How was that transition like, and what were some things that you learned from Nick Moss?
I learned to adapt from Nick Moss. It was different at the school of mines. We had an indoor facility, and so we didn't have to think about where are we going to practice and what are we going to do. So I learned from him how to adapt and how to work with the things that we have and not have fun, I guess. Yeah.
Well, Coach, it was really nice having you on the show. We wish you the best of luck up in Golden this weekend. And you guys do not want to go anywhere because we have the one and only Colissa Bakovich next.
And the celebration is on for Mike Dunlap.
The Skyhawks celebrate a second national title in program history.
And the winner of the 2006 Harlan Hill Trophy as Division II College Football Player of the Year is Danny Woodhead from Chadron State. ASU! ASU! ASU!
What do we got?
Hi, I'm Congresswoman Diana DeGette. Every day, I see the impact that MSU Denver has on our region, and education within reach can truly transform a life. Congratulations on 50 years of commitment to diversity and inclusion, and may you have many, many more.
Are you a college student that needs a place to live? Are you still living with your parents and want your own space? The Regency Student Housing is perfect for you. The community offers many amenities such as a fitness center, 2 basketball courts, big screen amphitheater, all-you-can-eat dining hall, bowling alley, arcade, free parking, and a shuttle to and from the Auraria campus. For more information, please call 303-477-1950 or visit our website at regencystudenthousing.com.
I'm Lexi Marr, senior defender for the Roadrunners women's soccer team.
These teams looking for offense, and there's Marr, the all-conference defender.
And you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
I'm Anthony Grant, Director of Athletics at MSU Denver.
It's because of your generosity and support that our athletic programs have been able to achieve sustained success and continue to be one of the top athletic departments in the nation.
And you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner. We are still here at the Tivoli Tap House, and make sure you come on by for Brown Bag Tuesdays, where the Tap House will be offering surprise brown bags of beer for only $3 every Tuesday. Juan and I still here with the best defensive outfielder in the RMAC, Senior Colissa Bakovich. Thanks so much for being on the show. So your team just started practice last week. Tell us how excited you are to start the season.
I'm very excited to start the season, especially having it be senior year. There's just a lot of excitement, and things have been going really good so far, so we're just excited to see what the year brings for us.
So there was a lot of snow that fell on the field these past 18 hours. What does the team do when you can't get on the field?
You kind of just got to mentally check in and just prepare for it and know that, if you're going indoor, you just got to, take the time we have and really focus on the little things. And if it's hitting, because you obviously can't do a lot of defensive work in the gym, but just focus on hitting and just doing the things that you need to work on.
So you guys have 13 players returning. You guys won the RMAC last year, had made appearance in the NCAA tournament. How does chemistry help with all those accomplishments?
Chemistry plays a huge role, I think. Just knowing that everyone has each other's backs on and off the field definitely helps, and just, really sets that tone for our team, and that idea of trust on and off the field really helps, and it just makes you want to go out there and play for your team.
So you mentioned chemistry. Does that help you when you make those incredible plays in the center field? And how excited are you when you make those plays as well?
I do get really excited. I mean, it's huge, and it's a good thing for me to be able to make those big plays for my team, especially for my pitchers, because I know they're working really hard up there. And so when I get the opportunity to make plays for them, that can keep us in a game, it's a really big deal.
So you're coming in as a senior. What are some things that you want to improve on this season, or if you have any goals that you kind of want to set for your last season here?
A huge thing for me is my hitting. I recently last year's transferred from just being able to hit away. I always just slapped. So a thing for me is just consistency and just always being that player that the coaches or my teammates want the bat in my hand. So just consistency and just always being on base.
All right, so we were told that your nickname on the team is Sis. So where does that nickname come from?
Ever since I was a little kid, I've just always been called Sis or Sissy. Calissa's just kind of been a little bit of a hard name for people to pick up on sometimes. So it kind of just started in sports. I was called Sis, and then it just carried with me all through college. So it's sometimes weird to think that I'm still called Sis.
So tell us what it's like playing under head coach Annie Van Wetzinga, and how has she helped you become an all-conference player?
Coach Van has been great. As I don't know if you guys knew, but she didn't recruit me coming in, so having a new coach, I mean, I was a little iffy because I didn't know her before, but she's been awesome. She's definitely brought out everyone's best potential on the team. She pushes you. She wants you to be the best, not only on the softball field, but in the classroom or just as a better person. And so she's awesome. It's been really fun to have her as a coach.
So you mentioned that your goals for this season, but what are the main goals as a team?
Our main goals for the team are to win RMAC and win conference. We've always flip-flopped, whereas freshman year we won the RMAC tournament, and then we won conference my sophomore year, and then last year we didn't win conference, but we won RMAC. So this year we just want to put it all together to win conference and then host RMAC, and then hopefully host a regional this year too.
Well, that's awesome, and we're going to end the interview here. Colissa, thanks so much for joining us on the show. We wish you the best of luck this upcoming season in your senior season, and Yeah, it'll be fun to watch you guys.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
So the first game for our softball team is February 4th, and before we end the show, we are going to give you what is coming up next for our Roadrunner teams. The men's tennis team is in action this weekend as they'll venture south to Colorado Springs to take on Abilene Christian on Friday. Coach Christopher's indoor track and field team will compete in the Colorado School of Mines Twilight Classic in Golden on Friday and Saturday. The men's and women's basketball teams continue their road trips this weekend. They'll face off against Colorado Mesa on Friday with tip-ups at 5:30 and 7:30. Then it's on to Gunnison, where Coach Have and Coach Clark's squad will take on Western State on Saturday. So remember, you can go to roadrunnersathletics.com to keep up with all MSU Denver sports. We want to thank you so much for tuning into this week's edition of the Coaches Corner, and we want to thank Coach Van Wetzinga, Coach Christopher, and Colissa Bakovich. For our guest host Juan Arellano, I'm Celeste, Zubia, and we will see you guys next week.
Dobinson stops on a dime, now to Cortez. The Cortez feeding, count the bucket, and foul.
If you can't get enough of MSU Denver sports, then you need to tune in to the Roadrunner Review. Get into the game with exclusive highlights, interviews, player stories, and of course the top plays that will have you jumping out of your seat. You can catch all the action on Comcast CET and at roadrunnersathletics.com.
Hey, nice job, great spot.
I'm Joe Rice. I'm the Director of Government Relations for Lockheed Martin Space Systems. I transferred into MSU Denver while I was in the Colorado National Guard and after I completed my associate's degree. This was the only university where somebody actually sat down with me and helped me plan out my academic path to finish my degree and graduate on time. Reach for the stars, come to MSU Denver, launch your career.
Brought to you by your #1 volume Nissan dealer, Tynan's Nissan. Come in today and choose from nearly 1,200 new Nissans. Get 0% for 72 months with no payments for 90 days. During the Bottom Line event, lease the new Altima for only $149 per month. Gives you both efficiency and performance. Looking for an SUV? Then choose the all-wheel drive Rogue at just $159 per month. Also available with optional third row seats. Bottom Line savings at Tynan's Nissan in Aurora and Fort Collins.
I'm Raquel Torres, senior guard for the women's basketball team.
Winners, and there's Torres, three-point shot up and
Oh,
good.
there it goes.
Raquel Torres, the trifecta.
And you're watching the Coaches Corner. Get rowdy.
I'm Andre Harris, senior center for the Roadrunners men's basketball team.
And here's Andre Harris with the jam, bobbing and weaving through traffic.
And you're watching the Coaches Corner. Get rowdy.
Metropolitan State University of Denver nurtures student aspiration and empowers lifelong success through personal attention and professional experience in an inclusive environment. Located in the heart of downtown Denver, the university offers broad access to a transformative undergraduate and graduate education on Colorado's most diverse college campus. And as a gateway to opportunity, MSU Denver advances the intellectual, social, cultural, and economic well-being of Denver and beyond.
Met Radio on mymetmedia.com.